It was very unusual for their father to pick them up from school. With a gloomy face, he explained to them that their mother had just passed on, so he took them on a hunting safari in Tanzania, Africa. A lion's roar from behind caught their attention, and Sergi pointed his hunting rifle at it. The muscular beast moved majestically with its eyes fixated on them, but it wasn't attacking. Perceiving no threat, the boy lowered his gun slowly. Suddenly, a gunshot rang and hit the lion. It was Nikolai, but before he could reload, the lion charged and pounced on Sergi. The boy screamed in dread as the teeth tore into him, and all his father could think about is firing another round. His brother scrambled off for his life as the lion's aggression increased. Then it decided to carry its prey away so as to avoid being shot some more. Sergi was helpless in its mouth, but the lion wasn't interested in devouring his flesh, so it dropped him around some thickets and nudged his body, turning him onto his back. Then a drop of its blood fell into his wound and mixed with his DNA, while a small girl watched from nearby. The lion didn't harm her, but instead it just turned and went away. So she approached Sergi, took a pouch from her pocket with a small bottle of elixir potion and made him to drink. She had no idea that this magical potion was going to transform Sergi into a new being entirely. After a while, he regained consciousness and woke up in the hospital with brand new yellow eyes. When he arrived at home, his dad went to show him that he'd mounted the attacking lion's head on the wall. This Sergi was not the same. He was enraged. Therefore, instead of being impressed, he turned to his dad in anger. Then he left the room with the realization that he couldn't stay there anymore. So he packed his bag with the essentials and sneaked out under the cover of darkness. While steadily and carefully walking on the roof, he stepped on a loose surface and slipped. Fortunately, he'd acquired cat-like reflexes from the lion's blood, and so he landed on all fours. Sergi took a ship and traveled to the countryside where he could be as far away from his dad as possible. Pausing for a moment, his ears caught something at a far distance. Turning, he saw thousands of wildebeest charging towards him. With nowhere to run to, he crouched with his hands covering his head, but they all ran around him because their leader stood in place to redirect their motion. Looking at them just pass without harming him proved that he was no longer an ordinary person. In exploring his full potential, he made a hunting tool, and upon throwing the spear, it flew over an extraordinary distance. Then he saw a deer and decided to chase after it through the trees, simply testing himself to see if he was able to outrun one of the fastest animals on the planet. But the deer had another test in mind for him. Reaching the edge, it jumped across the gorge to test his agility performance. Sergi even surprised himself after making such a long jump.